What's going on, everybody? Thanks for being here. What's going on, everybody? It's been an interesting week in the Sauce universe. A lot of interesting happenings, a lot of interesting developments. So I wanted to kind of recap how we got here, where we're at now, and what I think are the next steps for going forward. So I'll let some folks with an X join into the chat, and then I'll explain to you a little bit about what's going on. I'll try to get everybody up to speed, and then I want to keep it short, keep it to the point, and then give you some hot zaps and takes so that we can get back to our regularly scheduled programming. What's going on, everybody? How we doing? So it looks like I'm getting a pretty... All right. So let me frame everything up. I don't know why it's not pushing out the notification as quickly as it would usually, and that's okay. So here's what we're going to do with. Here's what we're going to go with. So for the last week, as I'm sure many of you guys have been able to see, as I've started to put out videos about Australia, there's a lot of attention has been growing specifically on TikTok regarding the videos that I've been putting out. And it's resulted in thousands of different videos that are being created and broadcast all over TikTok. So I wanted to kind of explain how we got here, why I got started with it, and where I'm going to go next. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to apologize to you all for veering off course, for not sticking to the regularly scheduled programming and not staying focused on all of the great things that I've been trying to push through this channel and essentially embody what I'm trying to represent and what I'm trying to accomplish here. I've been making videos about the United States of America and surrounding countries, trying to highlight injustices anywhere around the world for the last 14 months. I didn't know that the video that I posted in August 20th of 2020 was going to go and blow up like it did. I certainly didn't expect that to happen that fast. And then I realized that I could put a real social purpose and a real tremendous amount of good and attention on things in the world that I thought needed and deserved attention. So I started making a lot of videos about the United States, and I started talking about injustices that I saw happening to people in every country around the world, from Canada to the UK, obviously all across the United States of America, and eventually it led me to Australia. I made several videos in the last couple of weeks specifically talking about Australia, because what I thought was going on there and what I felt was going on there was so outrageous that it deserved what I thought to be everybody's attention. A couple of the first couple of videos I noticed started to get some traction, started getting lots of comments. People started to get very upset, mean comments and mean messages, more negativity than I had ever seen about any individual video ever. And what I did was I was like, I kind of realized that the message needs to be distributed. And in order for the most people to consume this message, I have to play into the game to reach the most distribution, to create the most conversations. Ultimately, I felt that conversations are what are going to create solutions, not only in Australia, but around the world. People talking about things, people trying to improve, and people addressing the issues that are at hand are the way that we get better and the way that we learn. So when I saw that people were getting very negative about it, I decided to lean into it, to up the distribution of that message so that more people in Australia could start talking about it. So I leaned into it. I'm like, if these guys want me to be the villain and they want to come after me, then I'll be the villain. And it was an error on my part. I thought that by creating additional conversations, that it was going to further the distribution of the message. And that was the objective, to get more people talking about Australia, to get more people paying attention to Australia, and ultimately to help move things forward there. Something that I have no dog in that fight. I just felt that injustices to people anywhere deserve attention. That's kind of been the mission of the channel since the beginning. So I leaned into it and I was like, all right, I'll be the enemy here. So I created videos that I knew would be sensational, that I knew would really aggravate people that were on the other side of this equation, knowing that they would repost them, share them, comment on them, stitch on them, and get very upset about it. thinking that that was how the message would be distributed, and that would be the most successful way for me to create as many conversations as possible. As they started commenting and sending me messages, I would comment back, and I would start trolling on the comments to elicit more comments, more discussion, more distribution of the message, with what I believe to be the ultimate kind of altruistic and virtuous goal of reaching as many people as possible and the conversation getting as far as it possibly could. In the process, as I've continued to do this and responded to all of these videos that people are putting out about me, the conversation has shifted from talking about Australia and highlighting the injustices and the losses of freedoms that are happening to people there, and it has become kind of a moratorium on me, which I knew was going to happen and was okay with and am fine to accept. But what I believe is where my error in judgment is that I've been feeding into the conversation about myself and perpetuating that as a way to what I thought would help continue to distribute the message. As a result of that, I veered away from my traditional brand and delivery of content. By focusing so much on Australia, I've taken my focus off the United States of America and all of the horrible things that are happening here. I've allowed myself to get wrapped up in the individual attacks and the personal conversations that people have been having around me and what they perceive to be my character. And instead, I use that I'll be the enemy kind of position as a way of increasing the distribution on those platforms, so that I thought that more conversations would happen. Ultimately, the message would get distributed further. And I felt that in a lot of ways, they were kind of playing into my hands. It's like, this is generating as much attention as it possibly can. That to me is a good thing. This is starting the conversation, but it's veered towards conversations about me. It's veered towards things that I don't really think are going to be ultimately beneficial to Australia, certainly not beneficial to America, and ultimately not fair to you as people who have been following me to bring light and comedy and otherwise joy and entertainment to an otherwise dark situation, not only here in the United States, but globally around the world. There's absolutely no doubt that things are bad. And even though some people don't see it or some people don't agree with us, there's a lot of people that certainly think that that's a pretty challenging landscape out there. So as I veered away from my original intent, as I veered away from my original goal, which was to intend you, make you happy, and make myself happy ultimately, the conversation has become about me and not about Australia. The conversation has become about me, and the conversation is not about injustices being done to people. And as I said before, I just wanted to apologize to you that I have veered away from my original intent. So, I really appreciate how much you all have done for me. And this experience for the last 14 months has been the light of my life. It has been the most interesting and most purposefully driven reflection of the true nature of my soul that I've ever engaged in. And it's something that I did not know would reach this point this fast, but I feel so much gratitude and love and thanks for all of you, not only that follow me, but that like, comment, share my videos, engage, interact with me in the chats, meet me in real life, shake my hand, thank me. All the people that donate on the badges, all the people that have sent me Venmos and Cash Apps, and everybody that's made purchases in the Bobby Sauce store, to the thousands, people that contribute on Patreon, and all of the nice gestures, people sending me gifts in the mail, including this awesome shirt that I just got yesterday. This has been something that has changed my life for the better, and all of you are to thank for it. And I'm so forever indebted and humbled that this has happened. And I'm so thankful for it, and so thankful for every one of you. Because it has just brought me a tremendous amount of love and joy that I did not anticipate would come at this rate. So with that being said, for the people in Australia, I want everybody to know that the reason that I started talking about Australia is because I believed that was what was right. I believed that bringing attention to people's losses of personal freedoms and shining a light on the plight that was occurring there and in many places around the world, especially in the United States, but specifically there at this particular moment in time, I thought was the right thing to do. My intent was to create conversations. My intent was to get people talking about it, get people interacting in the comments, cause a stir so that more attention would focus on that spot specifically. In a lot of ways, it was effective. My likeness and my videos have been stitched, duetted, and reposted even to this moment to the tune of probably while people are awake in Australia at normal daylight hours, I'm seeing new videos going up about me probably every 3 to 5 minutes, at least one every 10 minutes throughout the entire day. As a result, these videos have, based on my calculations loosely, probably resulted in over 15 million, maybe 20 million views at this point, including tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of likes. No, not tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of likes on those videos. Even though they've been targeted at me and how stupid I am, likes nonetheless, views nonetheless, comments nonetheless, discussions nonetheless. I believed that creating 20 million comments, 20 million interactions, 20 million consumables in a nation that deserved to have a light shined on it because of how egregious and how quickly it was escalating over there. I believed that it was the right and honorable thing to do. Not that I'm some type of hero figure. I just saw this is the only way that I know to contribute. This is what I'm going to do. I have no hate for the people of Australia. I have absolutely nothing but love for all people of Earth. All I want is the best for everyone anywhere. That's all my original intent was. And I'm not trying to act like the hero, and I'm certainly not trying to act like the victim. I was like, this is how I can create this. I'm going to create it. So to my friends in Australia, through the 4 videos that I made initially about Australia and then the subsequent videos to follow, I suppose in a way, I've created 20 million impressions of people looking in your direction. And for the people of Australia now, that is about the best that I could do. I got it going. I got the conversations going for you. And it's going to be ultimately up to you to carry the torch now. I didn't think it would go this way. I didn't think that it would happen in this way. And as I've said before, I believe that I did make an error in judgment in deciding to lean in to being the enemy and using that as a way to cause enough stir to create the distribution. I felt that that was if that was the path that needed to be followed in order to create the result that I had intended, which was create conversations, then it was mission accomplished. I think a lot of people have a different viewpoint about what they think that my original intent was. They think that I did it for money. They think that I did it for clout, and they're entitled to that opinion. And I understand how somebody could have that perspective. What I think all of you know, and what I think all of you see, is I hopefully believe that you understand that through all of the effort that I've put in and all of the time that I've put into this and all of the heart and soul that I've put into this process, I've tried my absolute best to do the best that I can. And I am imperfect, but I hope that you can see the true heart and soul that I put into this and know that my intentions, I believed, were right and just. So going forward, though I will do my best to highlight things and injustices all around the world, probably including Australia, I'm gonna pass the torch to the people of Australia ultimately, and try not to lean so much into people wanting to make it about me and not about what's happening, because I think that deviates from the message. It's an injustice to all of you that follow me for a variety of other reasons. And ultimately, I do believe that my attention is best focused on the United States of America. We have lots of problems here. And as I've taken my gaze off of America to focus on what I thought was a bigger problem, I've neglected the United States of America, which is my home that I care so much about and have so much love for. So I will allow the citizens of Australia and the people of Australia to take the conversations and hopefully do as much positivity as they can with it going forward. And again, it doesn't mean that I won't try to highlight things. It's just that I don't know that it's beneficial or fair to you that I don't pay attention to the United States, the entertainment and the fun, and ultimately the joy and the light that I'm trying to bring to an otherwise dark situation. So I'll say it again. I made a mistake here. And though the conversations were created, the method by which I went about it may not have been the best. And I will do my absolute best, continuing going forward as I always have done, to highlight things that I believe are wrong, to bring as much attention to the injustices that are happening around the world, to support free people of the world, to support non-discrimination of any person for any reason, and ultimately to bring as much joy and happiness to all of you as I possibly can. So thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. Australia, the torch is yours. The conversation is yours. I am by no means abandoning it, but like I said, I don't know that it's beneficial for the topic to be about me as opposed to the people of Australia. So I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you for your time and attention. And now I will resume back to my regularly scheduled programming. I appreciate all of you guys so much. And this has been a great learning experience. And that's all. Let's go, Brandon. I have much love for all of you. Much love for America. And we continue on from here. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. Thanks, guys.